Hello, Paul Swift out to you today about the challenge that some of us have trying to unclip our pedals from the Look Delta pedals, or particularly the pedals on a Peloton bike. I see it on the forums all the time. I have a hard time getting out of the pedals. Often it's one side over the other. So we're going to look at a couple things here and try and help you with that. Number one, probably, most likely, is cleats are not on your shoe tight enough. How do you know? Well, take a look at your shoes. This is the bottom of my shoes here. Is one of your cleats, however, rotated in this manner? Now take a look again. Take a look at this. I'm going to try and slow that down for you. This now has the heel further out. So what's the big deal about that? Well, if I'm in the pedal and I try to rotate my heel outward, the heel will go out and the cleat will stay inward. This makes unclipping extremely challenging. So take a look at your shoes. You might see one like this. Now you might even see both. So what do we got to do about that? Well, we have to tighten it up. Here's where the next challenge is. You have to look at the fasteners on the bottom of your shoes. For example, I have 3 different cleats here. 1, 2, and 3. They all look compatible. They all work with the Peloton bike. They come from 3 different sources. The problem is they come with 3 different types of screws as well. Now, some are going to actually come with needing a screwdriver, a Phillips or a regular. Some will come needing a 4mm hex key like these. Most people who buy from Peloton, that's what you're going to get. However, the other day, I just worked with a mother and a daughter, both Peloton shoes, both Peloton cleats, ordered from Peloton. One of them actually had a 3mm Allen key set of screws on their bottom of their shoes. So you got to look at that first. Let's hope it's a 4mm. If we're going to try and help you find them if you need them. So here's the challenge. You often get this little 4mm hex key to go with your shoes. The problem is it's small, it's tough, it's really hard on your hand because you really need to crank these down super tight. Now, what can I do about that? Well, you can get a longer hex key, 4mm. This is certainly longer, and you get a bit more leverage on it, but it's still pretty thin, pretty harsh on the hand. Now, you can take and get something like, for example, the T-handle. Longer, but not necessarily for the leverage as far as cranking and torquing it down. Now, you could get a multi-tool where you maybe pop one in and out and you do the 4mm. A little better than this. So I can get your hand on it. You can reef on it really hard and crank on it. I'm in the bike industry. I use a Y wrench a lot. I'm very familiar with this. I'm able to get good torque on it. Not everybody will be able to do that. Not as familiar with it. What I really recommend is getting a long L-shaped with a handle on it, a long end, so you can get a lot of leverage. Make sure you don't get the little round end like that. That is not something you want. You want the square end here where you're going to crank it into the shoe and really tighten it down. As you can see, this is a lot longer than this, and it gives you a lot more leverage. So if I were a Peloton user, I'd probably invest in one of these, particularly if you're going to be doing one of these online fits as well. You need to have this tool to make the adjustments. That's one reason. The other reason is possible that you might have a little too much tension on the rear latch, okay? First, I would take a look at your cleats. Second, I'm going to look at this rear latch. This rear latch has a spring tension on it. Now, on your Peloton pedal, the screw is going to be on the bottom. I hesitate and caution that because if you unthread that too far, the screw falls out and good luck getting it back in. I am not even close to 100% of repairing that one. It's a real difficult, real challenging screw to get back in. Some brands, though, if you don't have the Peloton, like this one, I can actually see the screw, and therefore I can tell if I'm backing it out and I don't want to go too far. I can do that. I can see that. So I want to illustrate one more time. Could be the tension. I'm going to show it on this particular pedal here because it's a little easier to show you what's going on. And so what I have then is, let me use this shoe here. So I'm in the pedal and I need to rotate my heel outward, and so I go like this. And it stayed in the pedal. This is the challenging part of trying to get your shoe out of that particular pedal. Now, I'm going to show you this. This is a multi-pedal, a little leverage on the lever on the end to help for that illustration. This is available if you share a bike at home with someone that says SPD cleats, but they also have Look, and or if other people and they want to ride with tennis shoe, this is a good little option for a pedal so that you can ride with all 3 systems. The last would be if you're somebody who sort of falls as an outlier in the sense of maybe you're born with a club foot. That would be a reason your cleat and toe might need to be torqued in, the cleat would look like this. You might be extremely pigeon-toed. That would be another reason. So cleat position is really critical. That's why we really strongly suggest you see a bike fit professional understands all the cleat adjustments. There's a lot of fitters out there. They don't quite get all of this. Having this tool, if you're going to be doing it at home, will really be helpful. So those are your reasons. Number one, for making it difficult to get out of your pedals. Number one, the cleat's probably loose. Two, it could be the tension. If you back off that, I really stress caution. It's usually a 3mm. I always like to tighten it first, just to get a feel for it, and then tighten it. It has these little notches that go kunk, kunk. And just do one, maybe two of those kunks at a time, and test it. Don't turn the thing all the way out. That screw will come out, and it's disaster from then on out. The last one is maybe you have some sort of physical alignment. Your architecture of your body is that way. That could cause and have a reason for your cleat to be inward. So see a bike fit professional, get those cleats on right. That alone, proper cleat positioning, in addition to being properly tightened and fastened on the shoe, will help with your clipping in and clipping out of the pedals. My name is Paul. Email us, call us anytime with questions. Thanks for watching, and you have a great ride.